Why are the so-called provider men resentful and entitled? They are resentful and entitled because they feel as if they own your life. They own credit for the lifestyle that they have provided to you. They deserve the credit for your well-being. They deserve to be credited for the fact that you are breathing. Okay, since you have decided to depend on a man for your well-being, to take care of you and do everything for you, do not be surprised with what comes with the entitlement of a man who is providing. A man that is providing for a woman fully, most of them, they are resentful of the fact that they believe they deserve more. I'm so sorry about the noise. Okay, there are people upstairs. I'm sorry. So, they are going to be very resentful towards you if you don't behave well according to their liking. They're going to feel as if they own you and you are supposed to be at their mercy. You are supposed to obey to them as if they were your savior. They will come into your life as saviors. That's how come they are called the providers. I'm not saying that every provider out there is entitled or resentful, but I'm saying that do not be surprised if they are exhibiting behavior of entitlement and resentfulness. It stems from a complex, superiority complex. They feel as if they're better than you because they are providing for you, because you have let yourself go, meaning you have decided to depend on a man. A man cannot be dependable, to that extent, especially financially, because when he knows you're dependent on him financially, he's going to mistreat you and expect you to stay. He's going to mistreat you because he has the upper hands over you. The simple fact that he is your provider, you depend on him for you to live. Okay? So therefore, the fact that you cannot financially take care of yourself, he's going to be himself bigger than life in your life. So therefore, he's going to be entitled, expect you to be perfect, though there isn't a perfect human being, but he is going to expect you to be perfect. He may not be perfect himself, but he expects you to take his shit for what it is. It doesn't stink when he shits. He is going to expect you to treat him like if he was mighty, because guess what? After all, he is providing for you. Okay? He is providing for you financially, so therefore, he thinks you shouldn't have a say-so. You are less than him. You are beneath him because he is providing for you. They are teaching you, young women out there, to look for a provider man, a man who will fully and financially be responsible for you. I would say it is a gamble. You are gambling with your sanity. You are gambling with your security. You are gambling with your self-worth. A provider man will make you think as if you are not worthy of what he's providing for you. You will say, well, in the first place, you decided to provide for me, but now you don't think I am worth providing for? Yes, he is going to think that way. You are not worth providing for. Remember, they're teaching you guys to go for the one that are going to provide, but they are forgetting to let you guys that in life, nothing comes without a price. What price are you willing to give up to be with the provider man? What type of sacrifices are you willing to do or to take to be with the provider man? Do you know the struggle of a provider man, the psychology of a provider man? You need to understand the psychology behind him wanting to provide fully for you. It's all boils down to control. If the provider man doesn't have ultimate control where he is providing at, then I'm telling you, there will be trouble. He is providing. He should have ultimate control in his mind. You and him are not equal. You'll be living under the same roof. He doesn't think you are his equal. He is the provider. After all, he is providing. So you should shut up when he talks. That's the provider man. This is the side of the provider man facade that you guys are not being taught. They're just telling you, go out there, look for him, make sure he provides, make sure he pays for your bag, make sure he pays for your rent, make sure he pays for your schooling, make sure he pays and pays and pays. The provider man has become your ATMs, but you don't know the trouble that lies behind the ATM. What happens when the provider man doesn't get his way? What will happen to your sanity when you cannot take it anymore? At first, it's sweet to be provided for. I love, being provided for is something I love. But what the power dynamics is what you need to look into. Would you rather be provided for and not have any say-so or power in your relationship? If that's what you would like, fine. But for rebellious human being like me, I would rather prefer to struggle than to be provided for and not be respected. Like, I will fight to leave that relationship until I die. Because that's something I would tell any woman, do not settle for. Because you may be sweet talked into, okay, I will do everything for you. You don't have to do anything. Stay at home. Be the glorified stay-at-home mom. Do you know what comes with that? You giving up your power. I feel as if it is a trap, because when a woman gives up her financial power, she has no say-so. And the provider man, that is where he reigns. That is his source of power, control. If he has control over you, he's going to provide the world for you. He's going to give you any and everything. Oh, the designer bags, you got it. The cars, you got it. The house, you got it. He's giving everything to you because he has the power. Now, would you be in a relationship where you're being provided for and you have no say-so? You need to pick and choose. Would you be in a relationship where you're given everything, but you don't even know the password of the internet in your own home? Would you be in a relationship where you are being provided for, but you don't know what is in his bank account? You need to think. Because let me tell you, the glorified lifestyle of, okay, you are a stay-at-home mom, or I will provide for everything, it comes with a double whammy. Okay, you stay at home and take care of your kid. There's nothing wrong with that. It's noble. I look up to that, and every woman aspires to be provided for. But do you have control in that relationship? What are your controls? What type of control do you have? What are you willing to give up to get the lifestyle? Do you have to give up the person that you are to fix their narrative of a wife? Or would you be fighting to get out of a relationship like that? Maybe you got in it by mistake. Would you fight? If you got in this type of relationship by mistake, I would say keep fighting and get out of it. It's never too late to seek financial autonomy. It's never too late. I would say keep fighting. But if you don't mind being in this type of relationship where you're being given everything, but yet you have no say-so, they don't respect you in that union, and you don't mind, it is your thing. There's nothing. I cannot judge you. I will say I cannot judge you. Okay? That's all I mean, I cannot. You cannot judge or care for people more than they will care for themselves. If you don't care about yourself enough to stand up for yourself and say, I shall fight this dynamic and change it, it's either you fight it and the dynamic changes, or you leave. Because the longer you stay there, the broader, like the bolder that man is going to be. If you are not careful, he's going to hit you. The provider man wouldn't mind putting his hands on you because he views you as his property. Would you be a property of a provider man? How far are you willing to take this to, just to be provided for? Because there's a danger that comes with that. You give someone else's ultimate autonomy and power over your well-being, meaning your financial well-being, because finances is also part of our psychology. If you cannot provide for yourself, maybe you are not that well. Like mentally, you may be depressed. The fact that you cannot provide for yourself and you have to depend on someone. You may have given birth and the man says, stay at home, I will provide. It sounds really great, but I would say don't stay at home for too long. Once those kids go to school, you need to stand up for yourself. Work, even if you're getting paid $8 or $7 an hour. It's worth you working towards something than doing nothing and laying there relying on the provider. The provider, it is a glorified facade. There's a lot hiding behind the provider. There's a lot of trauma hiding behind the provider. The provider may provide, but what he wants out of you can be unfair. How much are you willing to be provided for? How much are you willing to be given up? To give up. Sorry. How much are you willing to give up just because you want to be provided for? Do you have an equal right in that union where you are being provided for? You are being the trophy. I told you guys, do not become any man's trophy. The provider will view you as his trophy. The provider will think you are his trophy. The provider will use you for his trophy. The provider will expect you to look beautiful all the time. The provider may not look as attractive as you would like him to, but he is the provider. What do you have to say to him? Hey, go to the gym. He said, no, I am not. Who are you to tell me that? I am the one providing. If I don't look apart, deal with it. He has nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Now, would you still be willing to be provided for? I would say there's nothing wrong with struggling alone. Sometimes you need to struggle alone. It is nothing fulfilling for me on this earth than to earn your own, no matter how little it is. Being provided for is glorified. Make sure you limit it. If you had kids and you want to be provided for, because the job with taking care of kids is a job where you don't clock in or clock out. You are always a mom. If you're a mom, right? Taking care of young little one at home, yeah, your job never stops. Even when you sleep, when you hear them scream, you need to run. Right? Now, how much are you gaining out of that role? What are the suffering that are behind the scenes of the facade of being provided for? Are you suffering inside? Do you want out? If you want out, I say it's never too late. Do not stay because of the kid. Do not stay because you're comfortable. Your comfort zone is your danger zone. Your comfort zone is your danger zone. Be careful. Because sometimes we don't know what we want. Because if you don't have the experience, you won't know what comes with it. Because it has been glorified online, unfortunately, because of social media. People come and sit in front of you guys. You don't know their background. You don't know their stories. They're giving you everything you have to hear because it sells. And they have watch time. They're making money off telling you stories that are not real. Life, there's a lot that goes beyond the facade. And they may not mind experiencing those, but you may mind. You might be the rebellious type that will say, no, I am not staying in this. Provider or not, I cannot deal with this. As that the girls that go around looking for sugar daddies, you know what does it take to become a sugar baby? Do you know the psychological mindset? You don't know that. But they are online encouraging you to become a sugar baby. But they are not telling you what they're giving up to become a sugar baby. They're giving up their dignity. They're giving up their self-worth. They're trying to fix into the narrative, into a box of a men who have made it in life. They have forgotten to make it in their lives because they're depending on the men who have made it. Why depend on the men who have made it? Why can't you try to make it or die trying? There's power in trying. Have you ever thought of that? There is power behind trying. There's nothing wrong with trying. I say that's where your power lies. Because if you are trying, meaning you are trying to make things happen. If you try and fail, try again. Because you wouldn't fail if you didn't try. Failure is something that you should embrace. Yes. You need to embrace trying to better your life and not be under the supremacy of the provider. Not be under the supremacy of the sugar daddy. You want to be under the reign of another man that was born of a woman just like you. Why? Circumstances can put us in certain scenario, but never try trying. If you find yourself in a circumstance whereby you be provided for and you are the sugar baby and you know he's married, but because he's providing for your lifestyle, let's say you're going to school, you're your sugar daddy, but you know he's married, you know he has other women, but you have to pull up with it. Would you get out of this arrangement after you finish school and you're making your own money? I hope. You can buy time with this scenario and arrangement. I would say buy time if it helps you now, but never forget to get out of it. No matter how long it takes, keep fighting. It's never too late. Don't be engulfed into or entangled into this arrangement. It may be too good to be true. You may feel special for a little moment. But as that arrangement proceeds, you realize that you are at the losing end of this tale. You shall lose. A man who is obsessed with power and ego and control is a man that can never be satisfied. The provider man is never satisfied. Unless he has absolute power, he cannot be satisfied. Now, do you want a provider man? They told you to look for provider men. They told you to go to the bar and look for provider men. There's nothing wrong with going to the bar. I do go to the bar sometimes when I feel like it. I'm not looking no. I'm just saying. When I go out for myself. People think it's selfish. You go out because of what? Of men? No. I don't need a man for me to go out. I go out because I want to. Because I feel like it. Not because I need to go and be landed by a man. That's the wrong approach. But you girls are being taught, you girls, by the gurus around this street, look for a provider man. I question that. I am here to say, be careful. I hope that your provider man is not obsessed with power. I hope that your provider man is very kind. I hope you are the exception. If you are the exception where you're so lucky, you were born lucky. You're born on a lucky day. You have a provider man that cares and respects you. I would say good luck and congrats. But most provider men comes with baggages and they're mostly damaged. That's how come they are seeking validation. And their ways of seeking validation is to provide. They may be traumatized to a point where they have to provide to feel validated. And you don't want to get into that trauma. You don't want to get into what lies behind the provider man. It may not be as glamorous as it looks, because everybody will not tell you the truth about themselves, including me. Don't take my word for it. Because when I come here and give all these, I'm not perfect. That's how come my intro says I am not a coach. Do not rely on me. Take every word I say on my videos with a grain of salt. Everybody has skeleton in their closet, including me. It will be a disservice if I come here and act like a saint. I am not a saint. I don't want to become one. We all have closet hiding. I am more secretive than I speak. We can talk all day. You will never know anything about me. That's how secretive I can be. So be careful with the advices that you guys get on the internet. People may not be what they are. People may just show you the side they want you to see. Now you need to use your due diligence. Do you understand? Use your mind. Discernment. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, their life may be glamorous. They may have all the designer stuff. But what comes with it? That's why I tell people, never be envious of others. You don't know what they're going through. Never be envious of anybody. Be envious of yourself. Be envious with yourself. If you have to improve yourself. Don't be envious of the people. You don't know. The word is dangerous. Proceed with caution.